I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing, YouTubing podcast.
YouTubing. There you go. I thought you were going to try to drop another someone else's intro.
Oh, yeah.
Like you were doing the last 2 weeks.
That's the only other intros. I'm all out of intros that I know.
He's all out of intros.
I'm all out of love.
How you doing, Steve? You feeling all
I'm
better?
All right. When you said that like maybe you weren't going to be down to record tonight, I thought that might have been my out.
We both got sick since the last show.
Yeah.
What's that all about? We were two strong, healthy dudes. Then we drank a lot of beers and recorded a podcast and then got real sick. And now we're back at it again.
You know how, so it's supposed to be an old wives' tale. And as a scientist, I refuse to believe otherwise. But the whole thing is like, oh, don't go outside in the rain. You'll catch a cold.
Uh-huh.
So last Wednesday, I walked around North Park in the rain.
Sounds romantic.
Yeah, by myself. Very romantic.
That can be romantic.
It's a master date.
Take yourself on a master date.
That's the thing that I do after I drop my kid off.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't have band practice. So I was just walking around the neighborhood while it was raining. And then Thursday night, I started getting sick. Friday, I did not get out of bed. I just laid in bed all day. I only got out of the bed to like take a piss a couple times because I was super dehydrated, which was great. Because I barely.
And this was like a
bathroom.
cold or a flu?
I don't know.
This is interesting.
It probably
stuff,
depends
guys.
on who you ask. I was running like a 102 plus for like the whole.
Yeah.
Like except like I take Tylenol and then I just start drenched in sweat. It was great.
I hate that. Well, I got food poisoning.
Oh yeah.
This week. On Sunday, we went to like a party with a bunch of friends, and we all had all the food that was there. And then around Tuesday morning through Wednesday morning, everyone was texting each other, "You throwing up? I'm throwing up. We're all throwing up." And we were all just wrapped around our toilets, completely incapacitated. And I just had an awful 2 days where I was just destroyed. Like I could not hold down water on Tuesday until
crazy.
Like the end of the day. It
Yeah.
was bad. I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't even sit and like watch TV. I literally just laid in bed and like closed my eyes and like tried to like hold our children and comfort our children while like their mom and dad are laying on the bed dying.
Oh, so your kids were fine.
The kids were fine.
They're just chilling.
They're just chilling. Mom and dad were wrecked.
On Friday afternoon, my youngest comes in and just crawls into the bed with me. First, she's jumping around.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, dude. And then she like chills out and she just lays down. And the problem is like she's not supposed to really take naps. Like we let her take naps. We're not going to stop her because if you don't let her take a nap, then she's going to freak out. But at the same time, like if she naps for too long, then she's going to be up till 2 a.m, and that's no good either.
I know that story.
So we were like super nervous. Also, she's laying next to this person who's so sick he can't get out of bed. So we're just like, oh, but
so anyways, we're all better now.
We'll see.
I feel functional today. We're recording on a Thursday. 2 days after me being like completely destroyed, I'm feeling good enough to be here recording. Steve's good enough to be here. We're going to deliver a quality podcasting experience to you this week, not like last week. This week's going to be the good stuff.
All right. So Ryan's job in the recording for this episode then is going to be to go cut out all of my coughing.
I feel like though I don't want to go too much longer on this we're old and we're sick topic, but I feel like this has been my healthiest like podcasting winter in a long time. I'm usually like completely wrecked after NAMM. I usually have some sort of awful respiratory problem and my voice is wrecked for months. I've been pretty strong and healthy this year.
It's because all you had to do is stand at one booth and only let people talk to you.
Yeah, but I shook everybody's hand and hung out with them for long periods of time. And I took everyone's business cards and stuff.
I actually, it seemed like
I just feel healthy in general.
It seemed like Namthrax reports were down this year.
Nanthrax is down. Bye, bye, bye.
All right. This first ad was. So we ready to get into this?
Yeah, I guess so. We don't have any new gear stuff to talk about. We're just talking about our
Nope.
old sick bodies.
This first ad was sent by Daniel Police. It is a Fender Duosonic / Mustang /
We got the Tone Police
Jaguar.
here with Daniel Police.
Here we have a 1965 Fender Duosonic, heavily modified. Body has been roughly modded and installed with an Rickenbacker bridge pickup and a Fender Jaguar neck pickup. Also added a Fender Jaguar tremolo, original Dakota Red paint with loads of cool checking wear, original L series neck. Let me know if you have any questions. Do you think this is worth anywhere near $1,100?
It's really hard to say these days anymore what someone will or won't pay for something like this. I mean, it technically is made out of the wood and the neck that an original Duosonic is made out of.
Right.
But they've modified this so completely in ways that no one would ask an original Duosonic to be modified.
It's too bad there's not like a actual picture of the routing, because it looks like it is probably a massacre under there.
I'm going to say that it probably doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, I think if you had a Duosonic that cosmetically was on spec, but then you open up the pick guard and it's just a mess of drill holes and stuff like that, most people are just gonna be like, shave off $150 or something like that.
Sure.
Because it's still a vintage Duosonic, and I didn't really want to do a Sonic for, tone wood anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in this case, because you're removing so much wood in a non-reversible way for the offset tremolo, you have removed wood for the posts for a new floating bridge on there from Mustang Bridge.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big route.
Those are non-reversible cosmetic issues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I think, for me anyways, that's my gut reaction, is that this non-reversible
But Ryan,
issues.
Checking.
I mean, I was going to say, like, we criticize a lot of bad relics on this show. Like, people who are doing relic jobs should look at a guitar like this.
Yeah.
And still dial it back like 40%. But there's some legit natural relic going on here. And it's just like the way that the paint is crinkling up a little bit with a natural checking across the back. Little bits of scrapes and bumps here and there. There's not a gigantic, like watermelon sliced piece of paint removed from the armrest area. We're like, oh yeah, my arm totally rubbed. This guitar just raw.
That's not natural?
I removed just a square foot of paint with my forearm. Yeah, this guitar was made 2 years ago. No big deal.
It's a poly finish.
Yeah, my forearm rubbed through 3 layers of different colors of paint.
What you need some,
and it applied a gloss finish to the wood
this
underneath.
Guy who comes in, he's just got huge biceps. Just huge biceps.
Skin like sandpaper.
Huge shoulder. His forearm is a nub. Like here, it's just a nub. And he's like, I'm selling you this guitar. And he holds it up to you. And like, there's just, it's like, it's a brand new Fender Mexican Strat, thick poly finish. But there's one spot that's just like a baseball sized where it's just wore straight down to the wood. And you're like, dude, what happened? And he's just like, naturally relics.
Oh yeah, but there's parts
Are
of this
amputee jokes okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
you're fine until you know someone who's an amputee. Until you have an audience member who's an amputee, then you're an asshole.
I mean, I guess he doesn't have to be an amputee.
There's parts of the relic on here that I'm like, maybe that's fake. Like this little edge down here. Like, how does that even wear?
Yeah, the lower bout. That's.
But who knows? It's old enough that if this is truly a 60s Duosonic body, it's earned whatever relic it has.
Yeah. And
I'm
this
sure
is that
very little of it is faked, if any of it is.
This is that red on white finish too, which is cool.
I would not mind having this Duosonic in closer to pristine condition. I wouldn't mind having this exact Duosonic. I just wouldn't want to pay $1,100 for it.
What would you pay?
I mean, what I would pay is very different from what market value is.
What do you think this is? At what price
I
is this interesting
if
to you?
I saw this local Craigslist in the 600s, I would sit back in my chair and I'd take a deep breath and I'd think about it for a bit.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd actually get it, but I'd be thinking about it.
You'd call this guy at $600. You're calling the guy up and be like, "Hey, you have any interest in an SG?" No. Okay,
Maybe.
not.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I might.
maybe.
I might trade the SG towards something like this. But so much of it does look sloppy, but endearing in a grungy punk sort of way. I kind of love the way the Rick pickup is just kind of floating in there.
Yeah, the pickups are like such a weird match.
I love
a weird mismatch.
I love the Jaguar pickup in the neck.
Also just floating in there.
Also, well, though the Jaguar pickups aren't meant to be mounted into a pick guard, they're meant to be screwed into a body. So that's actually pretty close to correct. I wonder if that's the original pick guard, because something has shrunk, causing it to not fit perfectly with the control plate. If that's the original pick guard, then that would explain it. But I don't think the original pick guard's worth. Oh no, because this is a Mustang pick guard. It's a Duosonic, so the person just spaced it weird when they did the modification.
Oh right.
Yeah, Duosonic would have had a totally different pick guard on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying looking at it.
This isn't even a Duosonic. This is a Music Master 2.
I didn't even look that close at the headstock. Yeah, there you go. The person mislisted it. But still, like a Music Master 2 is a Duosonic with a single neck pickup, right?
I forget what the Music Master 2 was.
Do we have to look up a picture of it now to confirm?
I'm sure it's a Music Master 2. I just don't remember what a Music Master 2. So Music Master 2 is a neck pickup.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I mean, it's functionally a Duosonic, except it's a monosonic.
It's a monosonic. A lot of people would get those Music Masters and convert them into being 2 pickups.
Yeah.
Because I think the routing was there.
That would make sense that it would be, yeah. And so, I mean, I guess in a really dumb kind of technical sense, as soon as you route for the second pickup, it becomes a Duosonic.
Right, exactly. Or you can throw a Duosonic. Oh, you're saying if you routed the body, it becomes a Duosonic.
I'm saying
if you route the pick guard.
I'm saying if this started as a Music Master,
right.
As soon as you put a second pickup in it, it's no longer a Music Master. It's now a Duosonic.
It still says Music Master on the headstock.
Right. No, I know.
No, but that's exactly right.
Okay, good.
That's exactly right. It's just not branded that way.
Yeah.
So, do you have any interest in this? Do you think it's cool at all?
I mean, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of pretty close to your Jag Stang.
It is, yeah. It's got that little pickup and big pickup.
It's very Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. I am at the same point as you. I think 600 or less is where this is interesting to me.
Right, but that doesn't mean that's the market value. Like, what do you think? What do you think the market value is on something like this?
It might be $1,100.
It might be. I mean, I'm sure pristine Music Master 2 is going to go for more money than $1,100.
Yeah.
I think a pristine Duosonic would go for more. But that's just my gut reaction right now. I haven't done any homework on this. Before we get into the topic, do you want to hear this comment we just got?
Sure.
On YouTube? It just came in. 2 douchebags sitting around in grandpa's clothes, drinking his beer, all the while talking about things they know nothing about. And I skipped over some typos in there.
Which video is this on?
It's on the Ryan Adams excerpt. We were both wearing plaid because it was cold.
Yeah.
We're into spring now. Spring has sprung. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Steve's still wearing a long sleeve.
I'm still dressed for winter.
He's wearing a Make Riffs Sick Again hat.
Oh, I keep looking down too,
Pretty
which means
stylish.
It's like really centered.
It's pretty messed up the way that we had the video frame for those of you who watched the YouTube version. All the light is over on my side. There's too much light over here, and I'm the brightest, most reflective thing in the room. And then Steve's always like dark and in the corner, and there's not as much light on him. And it's just the way the room. I guess I could sit over there someday.
That's kind of who I am as a human being, though.
Steve is dark as in the corner. We're really like just demonstrating the balance between us.
You know who isn't dark in the corner?
Who?
Our first sponsor.
Here we go. They're not darkened in the corner. Who are they?
First sponsor for this episode is Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. This week we're highlighting the wide selection of tech flex that they offer. You can put text flex on all kind of stuff. Tech flex.
Technical flex, Steve.
Technical
not textual flex.
Oh, not Texas flex.
Not Texas flex.
Do you have a favorite color of tech?
Yeah,
flex?
it's this one right here, this stripy guy.
They did a 3, not to get like, because we talked about Tech Tuesday a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they did like a 3-item Tech Tuesday this week. They did rainbow.
What?
They did the rainbow flex. They did thriller flex, which is the black and red. Basically this, but black and red.
Is that one that makes me think of Knight Rider?
I think so, but it's supposed to make you think of Michael Jackson.
Well, it makes me think of Knight Rider instead.
And I think the aqua flex. It looked
That's
really
a
good.
classic.
But they have all kinds of colors. I have the rainbow flex, and I need to get another one. I need to send them a picture of my base because we want to do like some kind of color match. And I'm thinking I may do either gold plug or maybe wood plug. But I'm gonna kind of drop that as an idea and see where it goes.
I've got that Audience Sono thing that I need to do a demo of, and it runs off you plug your studio monitors into it, and I've always just used these cheap, crappy cables to run from my existing DAW into my monitors. But now I think I need to order some nice cables from Sinusoid since it's going to be like more on display on my desk to have like nice cables running in and out of it to my monitor. So I might need to put an order for that.
Get some flex?
Get some flex.
Get some flex.
Get some
All
flex.
Right. If you want to get some tech flex in your life, head on over to sinusoid.com. They make cables.
And smiles.
All right, let's keep moving. This first topic was sent in by Chris Reynolds, who says, and it's gone.
I've got it. Don't worry. I just got to... Here it is. I found it. Home Depot /Lowe's /IKEA pedal boards. Good thing we quoted him directly instead of just winging it, right?
Yeah.
We really got it perfect.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm glad he commented that because I was going to talk about it anyways.
Well, you found you were at Home Depot the other day.
I didn't find Jack. Okay?
Oh, you didn't go to Home Depot and find this?
I lifted this photo off of Pedal Boards of Doom because everyone was going crazy about it over there.
Pedal Boards of Doom or Pedal Birds of Derm?
It was not Pedal Birds of Derm.
You're not in Are you in Pedal Birds of Derm?
I think I was for a while, and I was like, you people are too silly. I am getting out of here. But yeah, this turned into like a 400 comment thread or something ridiculous like that, where apparently in Canada, Home Depot carries these shelves that like hang into, rails on the wall so you can move them around.
Oh.
And they look exactly like a pedal board.
Right.
Like to the point, like did a guitarist design these for us? Like people suspect that with the IKEA stuff. Like, is there a guitarist at IKEA like slipping this in? Because
I mean, it is like a wide slat. I can tell you that the distance between the slats is almost wide enough that it's tricky to mount mini pedals.
Okay. It's close enough though. But this thing is almost perfect.
Yeah. Well, this one is ideal for like using zip ties.
I bet you anything you could fit a 1/4-inch jack into those square holes and just cinch it down on there.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
It would probably ground real funny, and it probably wouldn't be the smartest idea. But I bet you could do it. This thing is Velcro ready. It's painted black. It's already the right color.
Velcro ready.
You could zip tie stuff to it if you wanted to. You could.
Dude, these are squares.
That's what I'm saying, though. I think a 1/4-inch jack would still fit through those squares. Maybe there's even room to put a little rubber washer in there to keep it separated for grounding. And it's like the correct size. I think it was like 12 by 24 or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. And it would be slanted. Did you already say that?
Yeah, it's slanted too. I'm telling you, it's like perfect pedal board dimensions.
And it's $30.
And it's $30.
You know what you could get for $30 though? You could get 2 pedal boards from IKEA for $30.
So what are the downsides to this? Like, you've got this thing, this basically a pedal board out of the box from Home Depot for $30. Just add your own Velcro power supply, cables, and pedals. You
Yeah.
know?
The first downside would be that you don't know how thick that metal is. Like, you don't know how well it's going to support your weight.
I guess that's true. Do you put your full weight on your pedal board?
I
guess I do every
definitely
now and
put
then.
enough of my
Like
weight.
if you've got a wah, you got to click it on really hard.
The thing to consider, Ryan, is that for us, if we say like, well, I put 75% of my weight on it, for us, 75% of our weight is the full weight of like an
Like an adult.
average adult.
Yeah.
Maybe not an average male adult, but an average adult.
What's your weight, Steve? How you weigh?
Immediately after my sickness, I was 201 pounds.
Nice. Lose some weight, huh?
I don't know what I am now. I probably gained it all back by now.
I'm pretty close to you. I'm like 205, 207, depending on how close I was to pizza.
I'm usually at like 204, 205. I need to get back into fighting shape.
You're listening to 60 Cycle Hum, the 400-pound podcast.
Do you think Guitar Nerds is a 400-pound podcast?
Probably just over.
Like, there's 4 of them. Do you think?
No. I bet they're a good 600. They have no idea though, because it's all in stones.
They're in stones. That's
and
right.
euros over there.
Yeah. No, actually, it is in pounds. It's in
British. But that's how much they're
British
worth.
Pound sterling.
Yes. Guitar Nerds is a 400-pound podcast.
We've seen their numbers. It's like a 1,200-pound podcast.
Well, I don't want to give anything away.
That's public knowledge. At least it was.
Game recognized game.
Yeah. Congratulations, guys.
So a downside I see with this Home Depot pedal board, and anytime I see like a homemade board or one of these fudged together like cutting boards or something like that, is how are you going to case it? How are you going to transport it? Because that's like the biggest thing for me. Like, having a pedal board around the house is one thing, but the moment you need to pack it up and transport it without stuff getting messed up is really the critical moment for a pedal board. Because otherwise, it doesn't matter what it's made out of. It could be this, it could be a cutting board.
Right.
It could be a piece of plywood I have around the garage, or a skateboard or something like that, you know? If I can tape something down.
Dude, if you had a skateboard
pedal,
pedal board, you could play a gig and then do a flip.
do a kickflip. I could do an ollie.
Never forget.
How high can you ollie, Steve?
Dude, I can't. I'll kill myself trying to ollie. Are you kidding?
How have you ever ollied?
Maybe once when I was like 13.
I used to be able to ollie pretty high, never while moving. Just standing still, hanging out with my friends in the parking lot somewhere, ollieing as high as we can over nothing.
So I have built 2 IKEA pedal boards.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I recently threw away because I left it outside in a trunk.
How many pedals were on it when you left it outside?
There were none.
Okay, good.
But there were a bunch of cables still inside the
That's
box.
so super rich, Steve, of you to leave a fully loaded pedal board outside in the rain.
I was I left it outside for months, and I was like, man, I want to go back to that board. Thinking the case was watertight. I don't know why I thought it, because it was one of those 1940s Navy suitcases.
Oh, you left that outside?
Yeah, it's all long gone now because that thing was growing some stuff.
That's a bummer.
So that case with that pedal board, it's all gone.
Yeah.
But that case matching is a real issue, and I think when I first put that board together, I built the dimensions specifically to fit in that case because I knew I wanted to use that case.
Yeah.
But my other IKEA board I built as a I think 2 slat board. So it's a bottom row and a top row, and it's slightly angled. But I don't have anything to put that in. And I've tried to take some measurements and look at what kind of cases are available, but then it's like, well, the whole point of building an IKEA board is that I could build 2 of them for $30. And if I'm going to have to spend another $30 or $50 or whatever on a case that's probably going to be too big, it almost feels like it's self-defeating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, I got all this stuff, but it ended up costing me like $60 because of the case. Even though realistically, like as I say these words out loud, like it's a really dumb thing to think about. The only issue would be that whatever case I get isn't going to be a perfect fit.
Sure.
But I could probably drop it into a case that would be the appropriate size for Pedal Train PT Junior.
Yeah.
And it would be.
But then you still got to buy that case.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I think that's the real like unforeseen cost with these homemade pedal boards is figuring out the cost of the case, and you either got to build your case, which is, build a case against this case, which is a huge time cost. Like building a five-sided box is harder than it sounds for most people.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't even know how to cut canvas.
Right, like people who don't work with wood and stuff like that and know how to use tools, it's nearly an impossible task to do that correctly, let alone get the hinges right and stuff like that and have it be looking good. I say if you're going to do a homemade pedal board project, figure out your case first. Like,
do you still have your homemade board?
No, I burned them in the fire last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had 2 homemade pedal boards that I made in the past, and I threw them both in the fire because I was it's cold and I'm never going to use these.
It's cold.
Find your box first, find your case first, find your bag first, whatever it may be, and then start working on what pedal board situation you're going to put in there. Like whether you find like an old like a silverware drawer case, like a fine china case at the swap meet or something like that, or you find like an old tackle box or something, find the case first and then find the slats to put into it, because the case is really going to be the biggest problem. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. I look at this and I think it's going to be really fun around the house board. And yeah, you could grab it by the sides and throw it in your car and take it to a gig, but it'd be so much easier if it was in a box. You
could just attach handles to the top, like the new creation boards. And then you can get a CC Desisty for yourself.
These companies like Pedal Train and stuff are selling cases, right? But it's by the time you buy them, like you've already spent way more than you spent on this.
I'm not actually sure if you can buy Pedal Train cases alone right now. I know for a while they were, but then I think because of the rise in popularity of the build your own board, I think they actually stopped selling cases.
Oh yeah, because they saw everyone
be like, oh, here we go, genuine cases. Stuff. Premium soft case. Let's see. They got a bunch of different sizes. Let's look at the Classic Junior because that's the one that I think I would need. The Classic Junior sized case is they only sell the tour case, $149.99.
$149? How much do they sell it for with the pedal board?
Okay, that's a replacement case. I don't know.
140 seems a bit steep for just a case. I feel like even if you're throwing stuff in a duffel bag, you can get away with it.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
The soft case / hideaway backpack for the Classic PT Junior, or it's not for the PT Junior is $120
with the pedal board
for just the case.
Just the case?
Just the case.
How much is it with the case? Do they have that sort of deal?
So that's the thing. This isn't. I don't think this is
steep.
I don't think this is a case you normally buy. So a Classic Junior with a regular soft case is $120.
Oh, because that other case was like a premium case.
Yeah, but
so they only sell like a premium upgrade case.
Yeah, they only sell upgrade cases.
Yeah.
Maybe you could get the tour case. So the tour case is a replacement case because the tour case you assume like maybe you destroyed it because you're on tour, so you need a replacement tour case. So they sell the tour cases by themselves, but the soft cases that they sell are not replacement cases.
They're upgrade cases.
Yeah.
I've got this Outlaw Nomad battery powered board here that's got a battery in it, and it came with a case that fits it perfectly. And I think those things are like $140.
This whole thing?
Yeah, the pedal board. and it's got a battery built into it.
This guy.
That's the
Oh,
Palisades.
the Palisades.
I use this thing all the time around here, by the way. It's a fun little system. I know that there's other like Chinese companies that basically do the exact same model. Go shop around, buy whatever you want.
Yeah, I was looking for a Chinese company that would manufacture some kind of like pedal train style case.
Someone should.
Everything I've found is either smaller, or even like the smaller cases I found don't even fit the Nano. Like they're too small for that. So
If I was a case making company, like say, if I was in the music area of making cases, I would be looking at stuff like this and be like, oh, a bunch of people are jumping on IKEA boards and on these Home Depot like shelf boards and stuff like that. I'm just going to make a case that happens to be the perfect dimensions for that to slide right in there. It'd probably be a big design investment for that.
Yeah.
But if tons of people are grabbing this stuff, it might be worth it. Another thing with this Home Depot shelf, it has the big hooks on the back side of it.
Oh, right.
To fit into the wall. And people were like, going like, oh, is that going to be a problem? I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No, dude, the hooks on the back
is a feature.
Wrap your freaking cable around it.
Yeah, stuff cables around it. Yeah. It means you can push your pedals back farther and have them hang over that little ledge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Next ad.
No, we're doing some more sponsors.
Oh, another sponsor.
Sponsors. Big thanks to D'Addario for sponsoring us. D'Addario is a string company. You've probably heard of them.
Thanks to everyone that's still sponsoring us after last week's episode.
Dude,
right?
last week's episode was good. I didn't listen to it.
Dude, he definitely said dick and ass a lot.
Yeah, I marked it explicit. No one can get mad. You listen to it with your kid, it's your own fault. It was labeled explicit on iTunes. All right. Anyway, thanks to D'Addario. They'd like us to feature their XL strings. They make a wide lineup of strings from the ultra bright Pro Steel to the mellow chromes and everything in between, including the classic EXL. You want something maybe a little brighter than the EXL? You can go with the, what's slightly brighter than the XL? I should know this.
I mean, what's colder than cold?
Ice cold. Man, I forgot. Anyway, D'Addairo's got a full lineup. You go to their website, you follow the link down below, or in the liner notes, and I've got a link that takes you directly to their XL page. And what it's going to show you is basically a tone chart, and it lets you slide back and forth. You want brighter, move it this way, it's going to go brighter. You move it the other way, it's going to go mellower, and it's going to let you like dial in to show you what the perfect string for your style, for your tone, is right for you. These strings are made in the United States.
Yep, in New York.
And they are using industry standard quality and materials. So,
I mean,
go check them out.
If there ever was an industry standard string, like I almost expect every guitar I pick up in a store to just have these on them.
The companies that don't,
you wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
You're like, if you look at the ball ends on a guitar in a store and you don't see like the D'Addario colors, you're like, I'm not totally sure what's on here.
Yeah, you're like, this company probably doesn't care about their products.
Be anything. And by anything, I mean anything but D'Addario strings. Yeah. So I'll pass on this whole guitar. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this episode's also brought to you by ChaseBlissAudio.com.
I was just thinking the other day, I was watching an old James Bond movie and it had the URL for the studio underneath their logo, which is so tacky. And I wonder when they finally stopped doing that. Like,
so was this
check out mgmgrand.com.
Was this GoldenEye?
It might have. No, it wasn't GoldenEye. It was a different one.
Was it? It would have had to have been.
I've been watching a couple.
It would have had to be GoldenEye or one of the ones after that, right? One of the newer ones.
I can't remember which one it was. It might have been GoldenEye. I've been watching a couple. You grabbing a Chase Bliss pedal back there?
This is the Condor.
That is the Condor. A once very endangered bird in our very own California.
Yeah.
Brought back to life by our local San Diego Zoo,
Shaman,
Wild Animal Park relief efforts, and also brought to life in this here pedal.
Yeah.
Did we want to feature the Condor specifically in this?
No, I just grabbed that one as an example of a Chase Bliss pedal.
Oh, okay.
Chase Bliss makes pedals that are maybe more creative than you. We don't know.
Oh, they're definitely more creative than you are.
Maybe you're super creative, but they're way more creative than we are. They
even if you
make
are
the sounds
super,
that we hear in our head, which is perfect.
Even if you are super creative, this is a score multiplier.
Yeah.
Every Chase Bliss pedal is a score multiplier for your creativity.
Combo.
You okay?
Yeah.
You want me to do that for you? Combo. Did I get closer?
I can usually do it. I think it's because I was trying to make the sound instead of just going I was going like.
Chase Bliss pedals. If you're trying to get a total knockout with your tone.
There we go. Chase Bliss, digital brain, analog heart. All right, let's get back to this thing. This next ad is from Tim Worley. Speaking of Tim Worley, I don't know.
I always want to call him a whirlybird, but I know that's
Clifton.
That's Clifton.
Well, they're related.
Are they related?
I think they're related. Or they lied
to me. Are all
whirlies
whirlybirds though?
That's true.
That's what I want to know.
All right, this says he says a killer deal if true, but something definitely seems off with this quote. SG Custom Shop 1961 reissue. Probably a good deal in any case, especially with the other stuff thrown in, but this doesn't look like any Gibson Custom Shop reissue I've come across. This ad says it was listed originally for $800 and then relisted for $650 and now marked as sold in Mercerburg,
You okay, Steve? You're having trouble talking
Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Amp plus FPV pedal, guitar plus case, mic, and stand. Used a Line 6 Spider Jam 75 watt with FPV shortboard with wah and effects. SG Custom Shop 1961 reissue with case 2011. Used customized Gibson vintage parts. 1985 keys, 1974 bridge, 1961 pickups are vintage Gibson. Comes with hard shell case. Some kind of microphone. It might be a Shure, but if it is, it's one of those ones that has an on-off switch. And a microphone stand.
This guy's claiming a lot of stuff about this guitar that looks pretty funky.
Actually, so I'm looking at it, and the 1985 keys is probably real.
Yeah, those do look like 80s tuning keys.
The 74 bridge, I can't...
Who can even tell? And does it even matter? Because
it doesn't matter.
When I think of a 70s SG bridge, I think of the harmonica bridge.
Yeah,
which
so
that is not what this
it.
is. Yeah.
So
I mean, does
really
it matter if you have a 70s Tune-O-Matic bridge? Like, are there any components that are really that different? Is the metal any different or anything like that?
If they are, I don't know.
I mean, tell us in the comments if that's a huge deal, but I kind of doubt
it. And then
the pickups are a big deal if they are 61 pickups, but are they actual 61 pickups?
If they're 61 pickups, the covers have been swapped out because these are super shiny.
Yeah.
And
they look like they still have the plastic over them.
Yeah, they should be like a matted
I think he means that they're the pickups from the 61 reissue, whatever he's calling
But even
that.
those shouldn't be...
No, they shouldn't look like that.
Anyway, the biggest strange feature
I don't think he knows what model guitar this is. I think he looked up something online. He's like, oh, it looks like this other guitar that says it's a 61 reissue.
This is not a Gibson.
Not
Somebody
at all.
took an Epiphone, probably G400 model or some other model of similar, and because he originally says it's a 50th anniversary reissue, but those were a wraparound tailpiece.
Yeah.
So my thought is that this is a G400 with a replacement pickguard that's routed for P90s. You guys will have to look at the picture. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see the picture.
If I show it to you, if you're lucky. Here it is, right here in the middle.
If you're listening to the show on the podcast,
someone attacked this with some sort of like scroll saw or something like that.
But
they did an all right job.
The thing that kills me is they left the serial number on there, and that's definitely the Epiphone serial.
The middle of the Dracula like hair point of the Gibson scroll is poking right into the serial number.
Yeah. The tuners are, whatever. I guess they're there, but originally, I guess these would have been the Kluson. Yeah. Like Clover tuners. These are single screw.
I think it's funny that they left the original screws in there.
Yeah, they put the screws back in to like fill instead of filling the holes. So it's like
Or even just leaving the holes empty.
they knew enough about woodworking to carve a fairly close-ish Gibson scroll, but then they didn't know enough about woodworking to just dowel these screw holes.
You can also tell that it's not a Gibson headstock at all, just because of the curve on the edge, the outside edges of the headstock.
Right.
That's the Epiphone shape, totally, which is different from the Gibson shape. Like, not everyone always like catches that detail the same way. Not everyone always catches that SGs are asymmetrical. I'm calling out Steve on that because years ago he realized SGs are asymmetrical. Yeah, whatever. I've already lost the ad. Where'd it go? But yeah, it's kind of a cluster of mistakes on that SG. But for $650, what do you think about this package? That's what it sold for. So that's not like a debatable price. Like, someone paid that.
Well, no, it's still a debatable price because it just says sold. This is on Facebook, so it just means it was marked sold. Someone could have offered like 500.
Well, this package did sell.
Yes.
Someone wanted this enough to buy it.
So the problem to me with the amp and board combo is that it's old tech.
Right.
Maybe this was worth this at some point. I don't know. But it's a single 12-inch speaker, 75 watt line 6 Spider with floorboard, which allows you to access like the effects that are built into the amp. But that amp is maybe with the board maybe $300. Even like in its like prime day, it would have been like $300, I think.
I can't see someone paying $300 for that now.
The only way
I look at that combo, and unless I think the floorboard is probably easier to move than the amp, because someone out there probably still has like an XT or a Pod HD or something like that is compatible with. But I can't see someone being like, oh yeah, that amp and that pedal board together, that's what I want. Like, the amp is basically $50 garage sale fodder at this point. You think it's better than that?
I think you could get like at least 100.
I sold 2 amps at a garage sale a while back ago, and I definitely sold them for $10 each. And they weren't these, but they were,
What amps were they?
Like a little like 5-watt practice thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then that crate acoustic.
Sure.
Which is a decent acoustic amp. I could have gotten more for it, but it was kind of like people sell that stuff just to get rid of it. I'm saying $50 at a garage sale for this is
okay. Yeah, I mean $50 at a garage sale, but if I were to stumble upon this on Craigslist, I would expect it to be listed between $100 and $150.
I think its right place is in an ad like this, in a combo deal, in a starter pack. Like, I think this is a good starter pack for a young kid or something like that. Or for someone who's like, maybe I do want to get into guitar, and I'm 36. And
if this guitar, with the case and the amp and everything, if the guitar is unmodified and it's listed all together, I would think that a fair price for this would be $400 to $450. Okay. That's what I would expect. I think because I bought, did I pay $300? I bought a Gibson G400 with a line 6 Spider 4, 15 watt. I think I paid, I want to say $250 or $300 for that.
Okay.
And I knew I did it for the flip. I knew I was getting a big deal, a big steal on the G400. If I could sell that.
So what are you putting the value of the guitar at? Like $300?
I would put the value of the guitar if it was unmodified,
unmangled, unmolested,
like $250 to $300.
Okay.
Maybe a little more.
I mean, if it really does have 1961 pickups in it, though.
But the problem is this instrument's one, it's heavily modified with that brutalization of the headstock.
Yeah.
2, there's no way, at least in these pictures, to verify anything other than the 1985 tuning keys.
Right. And there's no way, like, someone who's an expert on those things is going to be buying this and showing up and like, let me verify. Like, people like us who are like, kind of hobbyist amateurs at best
Yeah.
are looking at these pictures and are going like, yeah, there's no way there's too many red flags here for those.
I mean, the
to
reality
be
is
1961 pickups.
is this guy had this originally listed for 800, but if those were like original 1961 Gibson P90s, you're basically selling like this whole thing for the cost of the pickups, probably. Like those pickups would,
Yeah.
I would assume, if
those are real,
if they've risen in value the way everything else from Gibson in the 60s has gone up in value, like those pickups are probably worth $400 by themselves.
Easy.
Maybe $400 a pickup.
If that person knew that these were 1961 pickups, knew that they were, this would be a very different ad.
I think this
guitar would not have pickups in it. He'd be selling just the guitar without
I think
pickups.
this guitar was like probably put together not even by this guy.
No.
By this person.
I would suspect, yeah, it's a hodgepodge of parts, and he's like telling, what the person he bought it from told him. But yeah, that headstock mangling really cut some value out of this. I think you're right. You were saying like 450, 500 for the whole thing.
I think that's what it was probably worth.
The mic,
I'm saying if it wasn't
cables,
modified,
the little extras that comes with it, those really don't have much value here.
Yeah. Unless the mic was like actually a Shure, which I'm looking at other pictures now and it's making me question that.
The guitar and the case are the heavy lifters in this case.
Yeah.
And the amp and the floorboard. I think the floorboard is the heavy lifter in the amp setup. And then everything else is just extras in this. But still, like, if I knew someone who, was willing to go for like a ghetto kind of starters pack, I could push them down this direction. Like, hey, it's all there for you. Get started. Have fun. Like, I'm not a snob. I wouldn't tell no one to grab a Line 6 amp.
Yeah, you're not a snob. You have a job.
Song references from way back in the day. Songs that no one else will know. All right, let's tackle the next topic.
Yeah, this was asked by Todd Malvano. He said, did you guys already talk about the EHX versus Mooer thing? And the answer is no, we didn't.
We have not.
But guess what? We're going to talk about it now.
Oh, we are? Let's do it, Steve.
Oh, I lost my link.
Your screen grab?
Oh,
your link to the actual article.
All right, so like a few weeks ago, we are way, way behind the news.
It doesn't matter.
We're really not.
This is recorded for posterity,
basically,
for future generations.
Who
cares if we're on time?
That it was announced that Electro-Harmonix has successfully won battles with labor racketeers in the USA and ruthless mobsters in Russia. After almost 2 years of fighting, the Chinese courts have awarded Electro-Harmonix a nearly six-figure judgment. Our victory is now complete, and these pirates have walked the plank.
Oh my gosh. What do they mean by labor racketeers in the US?
I don't know. Maybe like people who
were associated with those companies, who are like putting out the clones.
What is labor racketeering? I don't even know.
Labor racketeering. You talk about this. I'm going to look it up.
I feel like labor racketeers is maybe like some labor union that was failing to deliver their enclosures to them or something.
Maybe it has something to do with tennis.
I don't think that's it.
Labor racketeering relates to the infiltration, exploitation, and or control of a union, employee benefit plan, employer entity, or workforce is carried out through illegal, violent, or fraudulent means for profit or personal benefit. That's from a .gov.
So would that imply that Electro-Harmonix was involved in the restoration of rightful power within a union that was like infiltrated by some other like corporation?
I almost wonder, because I caught wind. We got a little bit of backstory on the down low about an import company recently. And I wonder if it was something similar to that, about a company that had a bunch of people working for them here in the States doing distribution, and then just was royally screwing people out of like their distribution deals by going behind their back distributing other ways. Like, say they had a distribution deal with this American person, and then that American person finds out that this company is also distributing to America directly through Amazon under a different name.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember who I'm talking about.
I don't.
But they were messaging us privately like a week or so ago. You might have been sick during that time.
I may have not read any of that. What platform were they messaging us on?
Instagram.
Oh, I don't read those messages.
Okay. So anyways, in that case, a lot of people who were relying on paychecks here in the States weren't getting paid by this company, who were like basically not paying their bills here because they were just like trying to get free labor out of people. So I wonder if it's that sort of deal where EHX was on to these companies possibly doing a similar marketing thing.
You know what? That actually could. That's interesting that you mentioned Amazon, because I know EHX
doesn't sell through Amazon.
Stopped selling through Amazon because they could not get Amazon to enforce MAP on with other companies that were like listing EHX products on Amazon below MAP.
Right.
So they withdrew everything. So I don't know if you can get no EHX products on Amazon, or you only just can't buy them directly from EHX. And then I think
it's like a drop shipping thing where it's actually coming from somewhere else.
Right. I'm not sure what the Ruthless Mobsters in Russia thing is, but obviously they make the Big Muff Pie, which is also like associated with Softtech, and they make other Softtech products.
Yeah. Are they
EHX.
In that little blurb? Are they referencing like things they've done in their whole history, or just this recent thing?
I would assume that was like their whole history.
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe this is something that
it's
happened
saying like,
super long ago.
EHX, we've battled like labor problems in the United States, and we've battled the Russian mob, and now we beat China.
I see. Okay, that makes more sense. So the whole labor racketeering thing could have been like something that happened in the 70s or something.
EHX is declaring themselves as a global powerhouse pedal company. So anyway, what this is all about is...
sorry I took us on that side tangent there on labor racketeering.
EHX, or that Mooer was in the two pedals, the Morgan and the Tender Octaver, were lifting directly the code from the EHX C9 organ machine.
This isn't circuit design, this is software.
Yeah, and the EHX micropog. And this is what Ryan is saying is an important detail, because I have heard this story in a lot of different places, and a lot of places have missed the small details. And the first thing is because everyone says is like, well, EHX also came out with the Rat this year, so
They also came out with the Soul Food. Creative. They've also come out with the Green River, which is like a tube screamer.
Yeah, and
blah blah blah.
And whether or not it's ethical from a building perspective, whether or not it's copying, well, I mean, it is copying regardless. But regardless of what you think about a company that copies another company's circuit, at the end of the day, circuits are difficult.
From my understanding, is they're impossible. You can't.
Impossible to patent a circuit. However, what Mooer did in this case is they found a way to pull the code off of. So the way the C9 organ machine and the micropog work, and a lot of pedals, is they're single piece of software computers. And so if you open it up and you have the right attachment, which I think is usually just a USB cable, and you hook it up to a computer that has the right software to access it, you can use a computer to access the software that is, or firmware. Is it software? Firmware. Whatever. It's the code that's on the pedal. So what Mooer did is they took that and they figured out a way to download it, again with software, and then they put it on their own pedal.
Now, this software that they used with it, Steve, was that on a computer?
It was. So they
and was that computer on the internet?
I'm not sure. It might not have been, actually.
Was it connected to tubes, or was it like a big truck?
Hold on. You say the internet's down. Did you try Google?
Did you try Google?
So the thing is, in the case of Mooer, is they just took the code from, here's EHX. They took the code, put it here, and then they put it on their pedal with no modifications.
Right.
So literally all Mooer had to do was look at the code.
They copy pasted.
And delete the part at the end that said, EHX is the sole owner of this code.
Well, I think didn't they not delete the stuff that said EHX in it? I think
that's my point.
I think they literally just copy pasted it.
They literally copy pasted it. And so that's apparently that from what I understand, that's how they won the case. Is they were like, look, there's no denying that this is our code because they left. It's not even like
They
it's
left
either
the
like
coder's signature in
yeah,
there,
basically.
and it says copyright Electroharmonics, and has like a little light drawing of Mike Matthews made out of like backslashes and
I
question
mean,
marks and
basically, that's not inaccurate.
stuff. I mean, I think it's totally fine for everyone on the internet and everywhere else, other podcasts, if they want to debate whether or not it's moral for a company like EHX to clone circuits, to copy circuits, to make circuits that emulate other classic pedals like the Rat. They come out right out and say like, oh, this pedal is
Yeah.
our Rat 2 copy, like the Soul Food, et cetera, and so on. I mean, EHX is playing the same game everyone else has. Everyone has been copying EHX pedals since day one. That's how most of these companies got their start, is by copying Big Muffs. Is really what it comes down to. That's all well-trodden territory. Everyone knows what's fair game and what isn't in that industry. And software is off the table as far as it is right now. And I think I mean, the next area we need to tackle in this discussion is, what does this mean for the industry? Do you think we'll see Chinese cloners and import cloners do their due diligence to cover their tracks a little bit more? Like, they'll still do copying, but like hire someone to get in there in the code and scramble it up a little bit, or maybe tweak it enough where like there's plausible deniability?
I mean, I think that's one possibility. The other thing is, these two pedals, the Tender Octaver and the Morgan, I think were like kind of older Mooer products, and I think really I think you're going to see the copying still, and you're going to see that on a lot of like OEM products, and it's just going to come down to probably honestly the Chinese companies being smarter about who they try to rip off, because
I mean, this is the first time that this has happened, as far as we know. Like, an American pedal company suing a Chinese pedal company, let alone winning. Do you think any of the Chinese companies are shaking in their boots or anything like that?
I think it depends on like how widespread it is, because on the one, there's a few different ways to look at this. Like, this was it said almost six-figure settlement, nearly
what is almost six-figure mean?
Nearly six-figure judgment. So I would assume between $80,000 and $99,000.
Okay,
which is a lot of money, but that's really only like 1,000 of these, like 2,000 of these pedals.
It's really not that much money,
and
when you think
when
about
you
it.
consider how many Mooer pedals you see on like different, especially beginner boards. I feel like
I bet EHX lost money pursuing.
Right.
This.
I think this was more about a moral position, or about
I don't think it's about morals. I think it's about business.
It's a business position, and it's also about protecting your copyright and establishing a precedent.
I think
that's worthwhile to do that. And now, if something like this were to happen again, where they have to go back to court in China, they're going to spend a lot less money on any future cases if any company ever tries it again, because they're going to pull and be like, look, you already said that companies can't do this to us. Well, here's another company who did this to us. Let's just skip this whole 2-year deliberation thing, and you give us the money right now.
We've already shown you that we're serious. Let's just get down to business right away.
One of the things, though, I will say, Music Radar, I didn't realize, throws a dig on the whole thing.
Here we go.
They said both firms will be bringing new products to NAMM. Mooer looks to disrupt the multi-effects market with the GE300, while EHX has stayed quiet on its new launches, aside from its own brand of strings. Now, did EHX end up launching? I didn't follow.
I don't remember seeing anything about strings, but they launched a couple pedals.
Oh, okay. Well, good for them.
And then Mooer tried to launch their multi-effects,
and it's not done.
They came to the booth I was working at and plugged it in, and I think they forgot to turn on the amp sim or the cab sim on it, and it just sounded really bad, and everyone blamed me in the demo comments.
EHX had the super switcher, the attack decay, the monosynth, which you demoed, or you had demoed at your booth.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool.
We can say I demoed it. We can say we demoed it. It
You-
was
you-
the demo was hosted on our channel. I filmed it.
You filmed it.
I filmed
That's
it.
what I meant. You
Yeah.
filmed it. Like
Yeah.
I meant you didn't play. That's what I meant.
pressed no less than 3 buttons
You pressed
and
no
then-
less than the record button on
and then
3
hired
different
someone
devices.
else to edit it and publish it for us. last ad, and then we'll get out of
Last
here.
ad, Vline Sword White, $15,449.89. You'd think they could have thrown in some free freaking shipping on this.
Seriously.
This is in Geneva, Switzerland.
It would cost less money to ship an actual sword.
Vline Sword White attacked good. Cet article a été testé. Merci de nous contacter pour des informations spécifiques. Pour les commandes internationales. I'm like switching between Spanish and French here.
I was hoping this would happen.
Veuillez nous contacter pour obtenir le devis exact de l'expedition.
I almost feel like I could have done that better.
You want to try it?
Nope.
All right. Then shut up.
I feel like what they're trying to say is contact us for specifics on international shipping.
Yeah. No, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know anything about this brand, this specific guitar. I'm assuming it's a one-off. I'm assuming it came out of the 80s. I don't understand why there's no pickups on this at all. Maybe there's some sort of piezo sort of situation, or maybe the pickups are mounted inside of the base of the sword here, where the strings are going over, where the pickups should be. It certainly looks like there's some sorts of ridges under there where there might be pickups.
I think that's just the bridge.
No, that's not the bridge. These ridges right here. Look at where my finger's pointing.
Oh,
I'm wondering if there's pickups underneath,
well, maybe.
like a metal cover or something like that. There is some interesting hardware on the top edge of this, if you can see in this picture. I think this is the strap button. Look what I'm pointing at, please. And then that's a volume knob and the control switch, I'm assuming for a pickup. And there's also some sort of knob underneath it, too.
the other strap button.
You think it's the...
I don't know. I'm reading about this right now.
oh, yeah? Is it historical in any sort of way?
Yeah, apparently these were made in the...
There's more than one of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
How many?
I don't... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9
Are they
different things.
Are they worth $16,000?
I don't know. So it says the first guitar
I have trouble
Vincent
imagining
made
an actual sword being worth $16,000.
So if this is the first one, was the Vline La Peniche, was given to Steve Lukather during a Toto concert. This
Is this the sword that he used to bless the rains down in Africa?
maybe. This guy, the guy who built these, his name is Roman Bideau,
Uh-huh.
I believe. Or no, Vincent Burton. Sorry, Vincent Burt, which is, if it's French, is probably Vincent Berton.
He probably goes by Vince.
He was a protege of James Trussert,
Okay.
so like he definitely knows how to build a guitar. And he would spend months building these guitars, building every single detail by hand, building the knobs, the saddles, the control plates, all from solid blocks of brass. He built his own revolutionary pickups, hiding the secret of his custom design by integrating them inside the body.
Aha.
He also built his own cases, but even down to the smallest details like the hinges and the handle was also built by hand from brass. The guitar bodies are made from resin. So yeah, this might be worth this.
I mean, if you can get someone to pay that, it's worth that.
Right, but it's something where it's like you're not just buying, you're kind of buying like a weird piece of history where art and guitar collide in like an insane sort of way.
I will say, like, of all the sword guitars and weapon guitars that we've covered on this show over the years, this is the swordiest one of them all. Like, it looks the most like a sword. It looks most like the thing that it's trying to look like. It looks like an actual sword.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you could use this as a weapon. It wouldn't cut like a sword, but you could really bash someone with this. And it's made out of brass. What did it say the body was made out of?
Resin.
Yeah, brass and resin. You could do some damage with this sword. You could take this into
Oh.
battle. To
So,
show someone playing it.
well, this shows one of those rifle guitars.
Uh-huh.
And then this sword guitar apparently was like a James Trussert design. And then it just kind of shows like a bunch of different like
Things that
other
he's done.
guitars that this guy had built. A lot of like sword designs, or like one with a hand.
Yeah, those hand ones
So
are
it's
weird.
like this was like I said, this was
Send
kind
me
of
that
like
link
a
so that I can do it for the show.
sure.
For
This
the
was kind of
video.
like a weird art concept that this guy had. Whether or not
But-
these are good or not, but it's like I can't say, but
They look very uncomfortable to play. Like, it's that whole thing where there's nothing pressing against your body,
Yeah.
so it's just going to flop around like crazy. And the strap button is super low down the weight of this. I mean, maybe that, you know what? Maybe that brass handle, the brass parts of it will make it balance out really nice against the resin parts
yeah.
of the guitar. I'm wondering which parts are resin.
I think like the whole body is resin.
Does that include the neck? Which part is the body and which part is the neck? It's a sword.
I think
Steve.
I think the neck is resin.
Okay. I mean, it's very interesting to look at, that's for sure. I just can't imagine that it's a good guitar experience.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I think you have to be like in that French art collector, also a guitarist niche to be into this.
Yeah.
Like maybe or like
maybe
again,
just
if you're like
super into swords.
if
and
you were like a
guitars.
big fan of like James Trussert's work, like to
Yeah.
be into this, something like that.
Or you have to just be like an eccentric heavy metal dude and you're like, I need a sword guitar. I need the best sword guitar I can
This
get
could be it.
right now.
This could be it.
This could be it. I just feel like the funny thing with like these weapon guitars
Yeah.
is by the time
Tell me
you're-
the funny thing.
by the time you're holding them
Mm-hmm.
to be a guitar, it's like the worst possible way to be holding that weapon.
Right.
Like, you strap this sword on, it looks like you've got a sword hanging off your neck in the most bizarre way possible.
You're like holding the hilt here. If you're one hand, maybe if you're a one hand tapper, you can hold the hilt and you can just be like this and then be like,
you're basically doing a Bill and Ted bit where you went into the past and you pick up any object and air guitar with it.
right.
Like a machine gun guitar. Oh man, a machine gun? Diddly, diddly, diddly. Oh man, a giant axe? Diddly, diddly, diddly. A sword? Diddly, diddly, diddly. A fish? I've got a giant largemouth bass here? Diddly, diddly, diddly. You know, like all these different novelty things. By the time you played it like an instrument, you've turned it into more of a joke than maybe you intended it to be.
Right.
Like, no one is going to take it serious at any point. Like, is there any weapon that you hold like a guitar? A flamethrower. People like hold flamethrowers like a
yeah,
guitar.
because you have that. Well,
But then, like, what is the visual of a flamethrower other than just a stick with someone who's got a tank on their back? You know, like, that doesn't make any sense for a guitar.
also it has to actually shoot the flame. You
Right,
gotta
right.
point it.
Maybe like the big machine gun from like Alien, you know what I mean? With,
Right,
like, the
yeah.
big barrel on it and you hold it two-handed.
Like the Jesse Ventura gun.
Yeah, the Jesse Ventura
from
gun from
Predator.
Predator. Why does that gun travel between Predator and Alien? I think we need a
It's
movie
not
where
even like a
Predator and Alien need to versus that gun.
because chain guns are cool. That's why.
Chain guns are cool and big tough people carry them. That's why
Yeah.
they're in so many G.I. Joe cartoons.
People who don't have time to bleed carry them
but apparently have lots of time to shave.
and run for governor.
That was Carl Weathers that was
No,
shaving
it was
the whole
Jesse
time?
Ventura.
No, but which one was
Oh,
it? He was shaving the whole
Um,
time in Predator.
that's the. Oh no. Okay, you're right. That guy was shaving too.
Was that Carl Weathers?
No, that was some rando. I don't know what that guy's name is.
I can't remember. That always struck me as funny.
You know why you think
that guy
Car-
is shaving all day just to keep any
You know
little
why
hair
you
down?
think that guy is Carl Weathers?
Because
you're racist.
Because I'm racist. I was gonna say because he's black and Carl Weathers was in the Arrested Development bit. And
Oh, that's right.
was he in Predator?
Carl Weathers was in Predator.
So I'm not totally going crazy.
Yeah, he
here.
just wasn't one
By
of
crazy,
wait,
I mean being racist.
Yeah, he's the one who's on the other side of the famous handshake.
I thought the famous handshake was from Over the Top.
Well, there's a few different famous handshakes, but there is one in Predator.
But he's not the guy who's shaving the whole time.
No, that's a different guy.
I can only remember so
Carl
many
Weathers
people.
has hair.
I can only remember so many people in Predator. Well, maybe he didn't have hair in the movie because he shaved it all because that was his
he
character.
has hair in the movie. Carl Weathers is not the Native American. He's not Jesse Ventura. He's not the guy with the glasses.
I didn't even remember there was a Native American.
He's not the guy who shaves all the time, and he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. So and he's not the woman, and he's not the Predator.
Well, if he's not the Predator.
All right, I want to give a shout out to Nutter Guitars.
We picked up a Patreon that's a builder. That's awesome.
Yeah, Nutter Guitars is supporting us at the $1 level. Thanks a lot, Nutter Guitars. We would love the $1 level, and when people contribute, we say their names.
You guys should all go check out Nutter Guitars. They make wild looking stuff that once you see it, that I love because it's crazy.
Head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumpcast. And now let's get out of here.
Damn,
This
dude.
week's song was sent by Alex Booth. He says, hey guys, I wanted to share one of my new band's tracks that we just completed. I'm drumming in this project, but my pedal board was used to record. The guitar rig is a Jag with humbuckers into a Fender Twin that was used by Kurt Cobain to record Bleach with. Anyway, here's
the actual amp that he used.
I guess so.
Wow, fancy pants.
Because Alex is in Seattle, so in P and Dubs anyway. So maybe he went to the same recording studio that Kurt used for Bleach.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, he says this song is called Beach Bones, and the band is called Yada Yada.
Bye.
Stay grounded.
Said it's a nice day for a walk. Could you get over it? I got my headphones on like I'm somewhere else. 'Cause I'm right to say what I thought of this. From the start I